Hi guys, it's Tash from We Offer Wellness, and today I'm with Richelle. Hiya.
Hi,
Mhm.
nice
So,
to
would
meet you.
hiya. Would you like to first of all explain, like, take us back? Where did it all begin, and what do you do in the wellness world?
So I started off as a nurse. I'm still a nurse, and being, in different kind of areas of nursing, I think really opened my eyes to the inability for people to represent themselves in healthcare, to understand that there are other more natural options. I went through my own health journey as well. I had chronic pain for 12 years. I had gastrointestinal issues.
Mhm.
And no one could support me. I was basically left to go and get a scan of my stomach. I was told afterwards that I had something called Barrett's syndrome, and that basically means your stomach cells change shape. And they said, if you keep going the way you're going, you're going to get stomach cancer. And when I said, okay, but what do I need to do? They said, oh, I don't know. So I was left to fend for myself. And this was a real changing point for me. I was like, right, I need to get into nutrition. I need to understand what I can do for myself. And that led me down the rabbit hole of really trying to, um, look for myself at how I can help myself in healthcare. And then it's led to me being able to kind of support people with their health and their diet through lifestyle, and make sure that people are empowered enough and have the knowledge in healthcare. So it's been a long journey,
Mm.
but it's been, I've kind of seen all aspects, all sides of it.
Yeah, so your own personal experience led you there, and I suppose do you use a bit of your background as a nurse to help you in practice now?
Absolutely. So because I'm still a nurse and and then I work as a naturopathic nutritional therapist, I'm bridging the areas between the two, and I use skills from both areas, to be able to do a fully holistic assessment. So one of the
Mhm.
things, in nursing or in the Western world, a lot of the time, not always, but it's a lot of the time there's a medication that's kind of given
Mm.
straight away, and we don't look at the dots. We don't put the dots together as to what is the root causes of what is going on in the body. So I do
Mhm.
a fully holistic assessment using both nursing skills and nutritional therapy skills and naturopathic skills, to really, delve right in as to what's actually happening with someone.
Yeah, that holistic approach is probably the best way, isn't it? Because yeah, pills and things like that, medication can help you in some aspects, but often people don't have the time to delve right in, like you said, to your diet, your lifestyle, and help you in a holistic way. So, if someone didn't know what naturopathy is, I'm probably saying it wrong. What is it? How do we like dumb it right down? What is it?
So it's really it's about trying to support the body in its own life force, supporting its own chi. And you can do that by looking at different aspects. So you can look at that with diet, but you can also look at that in terms of lifestyle. And that can mean looking at exercise, that can mean looking at the nutrients and the vitamins in the body. So, one of the things, for example, when you go to the doctor and you say to them, they look at they do a blood test, let's say, and they'll say to you, yeah, your iron level is fine. What the doctors are looking for, they're looking for a clinical level. They're looking to see that your iron level is above what is kind of what it needs to be. What we look for when we're doing a naturopathic assessment, we're looking at what we call subclinical. So we're looking at the level now the level might be fine for a doctor, but for us, that level is saying that it's actually looking like that could cause some sort of kind of
Mm.
imbalance to the body. So we're looking at levels slightly different to the doctor, which is why, coming and doing a blood test with a kind of naturopathic assessment is different to having it with a doctor. And we're also looking at, kind of like I said, the diet, but looking at other ways of supporting the vitamin and nutrient deficiencies. We're doing a digestive assessment. We're looking at how the body is digesting nutrients, how we're absorbing it. Because at the end of the day, you can take all the supplements in the world, but if your body is not digesting and absorbing them, it's not going to do anything. So it's
Mm.
really looking at all aspects of how your cells are going to be working at their most optimally.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I remember looking at thyroid before because I've had issues with missing periods, hyperthyroid amenorrhea. So yeah, looking at the thyroid and how you could be brushed off as it looks normal, but there's loads of different thyroid pointers, isn't there? and also you're looking at more of an optimal state, rather than just, oh, it's okay, but you want it to be actually optimal, right?
Absolutely. So a lot of the time, the GPs, and I am not tarring a brush. I'm a healthcare worker myself, but it's due to regulations. You know, we have strict regulations in healthcare because of financing and stuff like this. But with normally, if you go to a GP, they will just test what's called the thyroid stimulating hormone, the TSH. When
Yeah.
you go and do a naturopathic assessment, we look at the whole thyroid profile because there's a lot of evidence that shows if you just test a TSH, that does not give you the full picture as to what's
Mm,
going on with the thyroid and the parathyroids. So
mm,
we'll do, if I do a thyroid assessment, I'll do a T3, a T4, a
yeah.
thyroglobulin antibody, which we need to do the full assessment. So absolutely, it's about looking at, okay, what foods are going to support the thyroid, both, over, improving its activity, under improving its
Mm.
activity, looking at the conversion of the thyroid, bacteria in the gut. There's so many things that, for example, support the thyroid rather than just giving looking at one blood test.
Mm. Yeah, that must be so helpful and life changing, honestly, what you do with people that are struggling. What are some of the things that people often come to you struggling with?
I think because of the fact that I look after a really I've had a lot of clients with a wide variety of conditions, everything from skin conditions like acne to imbalances with mood. So people with, um, anxiety or, mild depression,
Mm.
to hormonal imbalances. And I think especially because my background the last 6 years has been I've been in fertility nursing, women's health nursing. So my specialty is women's health, hormonal health, fertility. This is kind of my focus in
Hmm.
terms of, well, that's what my specialty is. But I've looked after people with, in terms of the nutritional therapy, people have come through with Crohn's disease. I've had, young children coming through with allergies. So really, because of the fact that we say most things are linked to the gut,
Mm.
really a lot of people can come through for a very wide variety of conditions.
Mm. And possibly, I'm assuming people come to you and say, "Oh, I don't know, having gut problems, etc." When you dig deeper, it's because of this, and that they didn't even realize it's nothing. Not there's nothing to do with the gut, but that's like one aspect of it, kind of thing.
Absolutely. And, we have kind of different ways that we look at things in naturopathy. We look at the timeline of when things happened.
Mm.
We look at the pattern of how it happens in the body. And also part of my assessment, we use tools from different um, medicinal kind of methods. So we use a bit of Ayurveda, we use some
Oh
Chinese
yeah.
medicine. So I will also do a tongue assessment when I see someone. I'll do an,
Ah.
an analysis of their iris. I look at their nails, and all
Hmm.
of these things together give me a picture as to what is actually happening overall, because all what you see when you see someone is just face value. We
Mm.
don't actually know what's going on deep down. So I use all these different tools to try and piece together what's actually been happening, kind of, building. Because really, when someone has a pain or something is happening in the body, that's like an alarm.
Mm.
Alarm, something's going on. And that alarm could be that something's been going on for a while, but it's reached breaking point. So sometimes we have to
Yeah.
unravel and see what's been
Yeah.
going on.
And when you say about the Ayurveda, are you like potentially putting people into the doshas? How does that come to light? Like, how does that play?
So you can specialize and treat people using the doshas, but it can become a little bit complicated because to try and pull them all together, as
Mm.
in, trying to give someone a specific dosha kind of dietary plan, while
Mm.
at the same time saying, well, I think dairy wouldn't be good in your situation, because it's quite hard to mix them. So there will be times that I use doshas
Hmm.
and there will be times that I don't.
Hmm.
Very similar. It really is an individualized plan. Very similarly with like metabolic blood typing. So there's you probably will know, some people will know, but there's a lot of literature about providing certain dietary plans based on your blood type.
Mm, yeah.
And there is data towards this. There's also, so for some people I will use this, and for some people I won't. And it's the same
Mm,
with kind of looking at genetics as well. Sometimes I do genetic testing, again looking at, so it depends on the person and what I've seen, and that will kind of lead me into deciding what will be the best plan for them and best testing
yeah,
if
super
if
interesting.
necessary.
Yeah. So does it start with a blood test? Is that always like for every single person, blood test, first of all?
Not necessarily, because
Okay.
of the fact that I'm a naturopathic nutritionist, I very much try and be as diet focused as possible, as natural as possible. And sometimes blood tests are not necessary. So it really does depend. I mean, if someone came through and I was seeing, let's say they had been on thyroid medication for many, many years, they'd never had a test, then I would be looking for them to do a blood test.
Mm.
Or if someone had a very low immunity, something like this, maybe I'd be looking for a vitamin D test. Same with fertility. So it depends on what we're looking for. It's not always necessary. A lot of people, I don't ask for any blood test, any testing. Some people don't even have, some people don't want supplements, some people do. It's very much dependent on what the person's
Mm.
looking for and what we're trying to achieve.
Mm. And is this again not set in stone how many sessions are beneficial? Because again, it's person to person.
Absolutely. So I have different packages available. I have where someone can just come through for one kind of consultation, and we just basically go through advice and
Mm.
discuss, what they're trying to aim for and see how we can help them. But I also have other packages where we look at, if testing is something we want to consider, if supplements is something we'd want to consider, then we would need to look at maybe a package, because with supplements you need to make sure you are reviewing them. I have to make sure we do a full assessment of medical history. I have to make sure everything is safe and that they are reviewed. So I have different packages based on kind of what you would need.
Okay, perfect. And to end, then, what do you think is like one habit or maybe a practice that you do or you have done that has made like a really big impact in your life in a good way? So, like a habit, a practice, anything you do daily or
Med-
weekly.
Meditation before bed, it's changed my life, and to be honest with you, it's something I tell everybody about who's struggling to get to sleep.
Mm,
I have ADHD, I have autism, my brain is a million miles an hour,
yeah.
as you can sometimes see. And so for me, I would lie there before bed, and I think getting into meditation, body scan, um, different types of meditation before bed changed the game for me, and now I get a really good solid amount of sleep. So yeah, meditation before bed, and maybe even an Epsom salt bath to
Mm,
really increase that magnesium absorption and really help the sleep as well. Those two
yeah.
things together have been a game changer for me.
Oh, amazing. I use a magnesium spray on my feet before bed. And I've
Yes.
noticed a difference as well because when I first started using it, it used to tingle. And they do say that when you're deficient, and now it doesn't tingle. So all of that is really helpful.
Yes, a lot of us are magnesium deficient. A lot of the foods we eat, they're now grown in soils that are very depleted. And magnesium is one of those things that has so many impacts on the body and so many signs of magnesium absorption, back pain, cravings for certain
Mm,
foods. And yes, when you get the tingling, that's a sign that you're probably low in magnesium. So it's
mm,
good that you've noticed now that you've
yeah.
that it's stopped.
And I think it can be related to migraines as well, lack of magnesium, so many things, right?
The magnesium is basically, it impacts on the blood vessels, and
Mm,
that's how it helps with migraines, because you need calcium to contract, and magnesium vasodilates, and so you need that magnesium to be able to open up the blood vessels, and that's what helps the blood flow and supports the migraine. So it helps with so many benefits.
yeah.
Magnesium, it really is a bit of a wonder. They've all got their own benefits, but
Yeah.
it's a fantastic nutrient.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for your time. It's been really interesting and we
We
could dive deeper another time for sure.
could talk
So
about this for ages.
yeah, I could. So thank you so much. And if you're interested, please seek out Richelle on We Offer Wellness. Thank you.